Okay, so Princess Rescue admittedly is my least favorite event and probably my worst one too, so take my advice with a grain of skepticism here, but this is how I roll. First, a quick rundown. The event works where you use supply items to keep the princess safe as she runs to the bus. There are no units for this event, only bill and support items. The princess usually comes out every 10 seconds, give or take. Each successful run nabs you a rescue point, for lack of a better word. Be aware, you can only use the supply items you've unlocked on story missions to the level that you've unlocked them to. Which is too bad too, because I feel this would be a good opportunity to let new players experiment and try out supply items before investing in them, but oh well. Oh, and Bill gets a grenade that he can throw which doesn't do too much damage but counts for something when you have nothing else to send out. Just be aware that he's rather slow at throwing them, so expect a 4 or 5 second delay. Rage generates automatically and with kills, so be liberal distributing items. Princess herself is a bit of a special unit in that she is unaffected by area effects unless they are set off while she's in their radius. For example, she will run through fire no problem, but if a Molotov is thrown while she's in its target radius, then she'll be set on fire and die quickly. Upon death, she will resurrect as a witch zombie a few moments later, which at times can be a bit of a pain for the next incoming princess since you can run and catch up to her. For my setup, I usually start with a turret in the upper front of the area, giving a bit of wiggle room to set up barrels ahead of it. It's usually a mix of red barrels to set enemies on fire and blue barrels at the very front to stop charged zombies from killing the princess. This is not the best demonstration, but I wanted to get a video up before the event so we can see what works and maybe what doesn't. Either way, I think this was done on my first ticket or two, so the difficulty setting is pretty easy. On Nightmare, I usually get between 17 to 21 rescues per run, give or take. Turrets and red barrels will be your strongest weapons here since they last the longest and will have the most impact, but don't neglect any item. Use everything. Blue barrels in front of the turrets can buy time for them to do their work. You should also have a few at the very front, because later you will get some cheap charged zombies who come out immediately after the princess shows up and will kill her unless there's something right at the forefront to stop them. Drones do well in groups of enemies or when you're starting to get overwhelmed. Drones also combo very well with other stuff like Molotovs or Nitro tanks. So send a drone and then a Molotov right in the center where the zombies have clustered to get the best effect. Nitros I also like to keep in the back so Bill can take pot shots at zombies if they get too close. A fully leveled up Nitro that damages is great to have here, but like I said in my Austin video, I advise against that unless you farmed all the coins you need or are close to it. If you're new, then I wouldn't sweat this event too much. It can be a pain unless you have everything unlocked, but Turret ought to be one of your first purchases after Rogue and Nancy because it's an excellent support item. In fact, I'd probably get it right after getting Rogue. Turret, red barrel, blue barrel, Nitro, and then whatever I need is usually the order I do things in. From right to left, I usually try to keep a barricade zone, a fire zone, a turret setup, repeat once more, and then Nitros in the back. That's about all I got for this event. I hope that helps and wish you all the best once it comes out in a few days.